Hey guys, BigGunner81 here. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for stopping by the channel and checking out the video today. I am really excited. Got this package in the mail. It's a new product that I really want to show you guys and check out. So stay tuned and let's find out what it is. Alright, so this package actually came from a company called TorkMag. It's a new company that, if you guessed it by the name, they make magazines. Right now they're making a 35 round and a 50 round mag for the AR15. And what we got here is the 50 round mag that they're making. And we're going to test it out and see how well it works and everything, of course. But one of the things that they're kind of advertising is that these mags have a dual spring set up inside. From my understanding, we'll take it apart later and check it out and see. The dual spring is designed to help keep pressure on the front and the back of the follower. Sometimes with these bigger mags, or most commonly with these larger capacity stick style mags, for lack of a better term, there's problems with the follower jamming because of the pressure not being applied evenly to the follower to keep the rounds, flowing, properly through the magazine body. The curvature on this is a little different too, at least from my recollection of looking at some of the other long mags out there. It seems to have just like a kind of like a really odd kind of sweep to it, but that's pretty neat. It probably helps with the whole feeding idea. So yeah, let's take a closer look. The feel of this magazine, I don't know what kind of material they're making it out of actually. I don't think the website tells us that, but it does feel quite rigid, very nice. We'll see. But yeah, it's got a nice engraving on here, probably a laser etching or something, where it says, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of hard to pick up on the camera, but it says TorkMag Incorporated 5.56 by 45mm, patent pending, made in the USA. Very cool. Now, there is some rub marks on the body of it, but just from the regular, shipping and handling probably, for whatever material it's made out of, but it doesn't feel like a cheap mag. Some of them, you kind of press on the sides of the magazine body and they'll really squish and everything. This feels nice, solid, rigid. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what kind of material it's made out of, but yeah, it's pretty neat. Oh, you know what? It almost looks like there's rollers on this. I don't know. We're going to have to maybe take it apart and take a look at it. But on the follower, it's almost like there's a roller on it. I like it a lot. It's pretty cool. Let's take the floor plate off. The floor plate's a little bit shinier material. I don't know if it's made out of the same material as the magazine itself. Okay. So, got our floor plate. Set these down. Okay, so we got one spring. Don't know what the dual spring part of this is. Oh, that is really cool. I'm looking at how this works. See, the spring actually still makes it go back. And I got the actual main spring removed along with the floor plate. And you can kind of see too that without the other spring in there, the back of it tilts down, the front doesn't. So somehow there is spring tension on the front of this follower. I think that's pretty cool. That's probably how they solved the problem of these followers getting jammed up in a lot of these magazines. So this, if you guys can see it, is the actual secondary spring. It's just a coiled up spring, kind of like your tape measure, for example. It kind kind of hooks in the front of the magazine body. It's got a little folded over lip or edge, and it sits inside of the follower here. There's a specific follower designed just for this magazine. Very freaking cool. Very neat idea. Alright, so I got the mag reassembled here. A little tricky, but I figured out a good way to do this, at least in my opinion, a good way. I took the coiled up spring that sits up here in the follower, and I ran a string through it. I ran the string through the magazine body, and I hooked the spring where it hooks right here in the front. That's actually the spring, that piece of metal, which I didn't know what it was. And so pulled it through, pulled the spring through, it unspooled itself, and slipped the follower back around it, and slipped the follower back in, and it ran up on its own pretty much from the spring. And then of course I reassembled the main coil spring and the little spring seat, or whatever you want to call it, the floor plate retainer, and the floor plate back onto it. So it wasn't that hard to put back together. Pretty cool design. That's very impressive to me, the way they took on the challenge of these magazines, these extended mags, having jams and so forth. And I think even the curvature has been slightly modified from what you see sometimes with these longer magazines. I'm not sure. That's just, maybe it's an optical illusion. I'm not sure, but very, very cool design. And they did send this to me to test out and try out and let you guys know what I thought about it. So I want to give an honest review of it to you guys. That's mainly why I'm here. So first off, mechanics of it, great. I think that's really cool. We're going to have to test fire it and see how it works, see if we have any jam issues. We'll run a bunch of rounds through it. I'm very excited to do that. No big deal. So stay tuned for that video coming later. The material they used, I like the way the material feels. It feels nice, strong, rigid. I don't think there's going to be really an issue with that. This magazine looks to be made in like two pieces sandwiched together. So you can see the seam there. Some of the shiny stuff is looks like it might be an adhesive. Some of it is more or less just like from being rubbed on, probably in shipping or whatever. But that's just the aesthetic portion of it. Not a big deal. I kind of think that this company is going to probably improve upon their designs down the road, definitely. But this is a very good start. I see that this is just the design, the mechanics behind it. I'm impressed with it. I think it's a pretty cool, neat, simple solution to a problematic issue with higher capacity mags. Not very expensive for a 50-round mag, especially if it's reliable, which I think it's going to be. I think they solved the issue here. We're going to again test it out, so watch for that video and we'll see in the future. But and we'll check the fitting too, see how it slides into our lowers, and do a drop test out of the lower, make sure it drops freely and all that kind of stuff. Back to the material though, it does feel strong, rigid, and great. I don't know how it's going to hold up as far as shatter resistance. If you drop it on the concrete, is it going to crack? I don't want to test that yet. Maybe we'll test it later on. But I think that the material is suitable for like competition use, like 3-gun, for example. If you're running like an open or unlimited class, your AR, and you want to have extra rounds in it, boom, 50 rounds. May not even have to do a mag change depending on the stage you're running or whatever. Test it out at the range and see how it works. So anyhow, guys, go check out TorkMag.com. It's a new product. I'm not going to give the pricing out, but they're reasonable. They're in line with other companies. But you got to remember, they've got to have a different design here. They got something going for them that other places don't have. I have not seen, at least that I'm aware of, a dual spring design like this before. And again, that's why they got the patent going on it. Very, very neat. So check them out. Until next time, go out and have some fun shooting.